Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. Atlanta United's play is improving, but the results are still the same. Can a rumored new head coach and new players help save this front office? We get into all that more coming up. Welcome to the show, 5 Star Fam. I'm AJ.
Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube.
This segment is sponsored by Thinking Man Tavern, a cozy Decatur neighborhood pub. Grab a tasty beverage from a wide variety of selections and a plate of something delicious from the menu. To go, check out Thinking Man Tavern.
5 Star Fam, here's your opportunity to support us from a grassroots level. You can pledge on Patreon at patreon.com/atlutdfantv, and we'd love to see you there. But guys, yes, let's get into the match review. Orlando City, at Explorer Stadium, and yes, LA United capitulated another late lead. It seems to be very symptomatic, a very soft defense here, unfortunately, for the five stripes in 2021, and it's been rather kind of dire, especially in this match. But we start off very, very well. 57 seconds in, and Joseph Martinez, he puts one in off of the post, unstoppable from outside of the box, and it is quite a wondrous strike. I mean, a world-class strike from Joseph Martinez, and it's end-to-end to start the match. You have the play starting from our box and then getting through midfield where Joseph, he's running the length of the pitch. Brooks Lennon is able to find Joseph Martinez, who one-times it and does it with aplomb. And, I mean, that's definitely a really, really great start at Explorer Stadium, where he has historically fathered the kiddies. But, unfortunately, it didn't go quite so well after that. Pretty much soft marking on pretty much all three of Orlando City's goals, either back post or front post. I mean, it's just, you have guys that just aren't covering tight enough to be able to stop what is pretty much just like pretty lax kind of, defending on not only crosses, but on set pieces. I mean, it's just far too easy for Orlando City in this match. I mean, yes, you are missing Bello, Miles Robinson in the back, but also Alec Can, he stood on his head. He had 6 saves in the first half, and unfortunately, though, that left side of ours was very, very weak. Mikey Ambrose and Eric Lopez, it was just so much space in behind, and time and time again on our left side, they were getting in behind and able to put in some sort of ball, either from the byline or something that was, I think, shaking, like asking questions of our shaky defense inside the box. And definitely, you see more of that throughout this match. But at halftime, you did see Mikey Ambrose get taken off, and then so Brooks Lennon came back to the back line, and then Ronald Hernandez came and played left back. And, it still wasn't that much better, and I think you saw that. It's just, there's another instance of Santiago Sosa in the middle there where he is he looks gassed. I mean, after about 20 minutes, he just doesn't have the legs right now. He's played more minutes than he's ever in his career. We need somebody to spell him, to pretty much rotate with him. And unfortunately, we just do not have another defensive midfielder that can spell him at the moment. And I think you see kind of the problems. Like, he just does not have the legs to mark anymore guys in the latter parts of the matches. And so, really key here that we, I think, get something during the transfer window to help in this regard as well, because we have no idea when Mo Adams is going to be back. we really need somebody to help us here in the middle of the park. But yeah, so unfortunately, Orlando City, they equalize, and we go into halftime at 1-1. But we're able to take the lead with another wonder strike, and this one definitely had some shades of Tito Villalba, and yeah, another one from distance, and Marcelino Moreno, yeah, he takes it upon himself and strikes it through the upper 90, top bins, and it is unstoppable as well. I mean, it's, you know, this type of strike, you know, looks fantastic, but I think, you know, this was maybe coming as well. I think Marcelino Moreno, he has been balling out the past few matches, and also you have sort of kind of this issue though. These are two wonder strikes, and at the end of the day, the XG on the night is I think .33 if I'm not mistaken. Let me check really quick, but that's pretty horrendous. If we know we pretty much like can't create much from the run of play beyond these two wonder strikes, and so it's pretty freaking low. And yeah, 2 goals were the 2 lowest XG chances of the 6 shots that we had on the night. And so yeah, definitely 6 shots, not good enough. And then yeah, so Jose Martinez gets taken off, and yeah, I mean, pretty much, you know, right after that, I mean, a lot of people maybe prognosticated that when Cubo Torres came on, that's pretty much a white flag, a little bit, waving the white flag. I mean, it's coincidental. I don't think it has anything to do with Cubo Torres, unfortunately, in this match. But yeah, you know, 2 late goals, and it's just not good enough in the back. I mean, yes, the depth, the lack of, rather, is showing here, and it's very, very tough. But yeah, you see just crosses that aren't being blocked, being intercepted, not being dealt with, and it's just too easy for Orlando City to come back. They pretty much get the ball out wide, they put a ball in, and it's really, that's it. I mean, it's simple as, and it's something that it's been a little symptomatic. We just have not been good enough from our wide players to stop these type of service. But yeah, in terms of you know, if there's anything else that's positive out of this match, I mean, you know, in terms of Alec Can, his first half saves in terms of 6, it's the second most of any half in team history. But yeah, unfortunately, LA United is winless in 11 now, and definitely pretty damning. Obviously, this is marred with not only players off on international duty, but also injuries, and also a head coach being fired. So it's definitely, you know, what can you do? But unfortunately, this is our first loss in Orlando City, and yeah, I mean, I guess it had to happen sometime, and at least you could say it's happening during one of our worst stretches in our club history. So in terms of if Orlando City, who's in second and doing quite well, I mean, yeah, usually you'd say, you know, these type of derbies, form goes out the window, but it seems like form is continuing here, and yeah, obviously, you know, just very frustrating from an LA United standpoint, where yeah, we put 2 goals in and we still cannot win. It is just yeah, kind of brutal. But yeah, post-match, Rob Valentino, he mentioned that he has a lot of disappointment right now. Takeaways are difficult to find. Ronaldo Hernandez, he said, I think we haven't been able to defend set pieces and aerial balls into our box well enough. We need to be more concentrated in that area. That starts with me. Definitely don't disagree with that. I mean, I think, yeah, it's the roster construction right now. Lack of depth is just super important, and I think you're seeing it rear its ugly head. lots of fatigue, lots of, basically we start off the match pretty bright and then we fade a lot. And that's, I think that's something to do with how hard maybe Heinze had previously trained them, and now, you're seeing, unfortunately, the effects of all that. But, so we'll wrap this Orlando City match review up. Next up on the docket for Atlanta United is CF Montreal, Wednesday, August 4th, and we will have that match preview later on in the show. But let's get into the news, and yes, head coach rumor, and that comes courtesy of The Athletic. Felipe Cardenas and Sam Stechgal, they have reported that 48-year-old ex-Roma manager Paulo Fonseca, he has pretty much had extended talks with Atlanta United's front office in the recent days. The Portuguese, he toured the club's training grounds with Darren Eales and Carlos Bocanegra, and a day prior, Fonseca was spotted having lunch with Eales and Arthur Blank. So definitely, it seems like there's been some further talks and negotiations already. If he's already looking at the the training grounds and having lunch with Arthur Blank, but they, in terms of Eales and Boca, they were seen on a flight from Rome to Atlanta last week, and that was just 3 days after they fired Heinze. So pretty much, there seems to be, this was in the works already, that they were looking into, different types of candidates for the head coach job in lieu of Heinze being fired. And so, though Fonseca, getting a little bit of a profile on him, he was also essentially hired by Tottenham this summer, but the deal fell through. And of course, now Nuno Espirito is Tottenham's manager, but speaks to kind of the pedigree of Fonseca and the kind of high level of job that he was already being considered. And of course, Darren Eales was part of the front office of Tottenham previously, to my chagrin, obviously. But it is what it is. I've had to deal with the Tottenham connections, being an Arsenal fan. But it is kind of if we can hire the right guy, then I'm not too fussed. But hopefully that is the case, and we don't know. If Eales and Boca are really doing a good enough job, getting the right talent off the pitch and on the pitch for Atlanta United currently. But, in terms of Fonseca, he's had great success with Shakhtar Donetsk. He led them to the Ukrainian League and Cup double in each of his 3 seasons in charge. And then he also, at Roma, it was a mixed bag of attractive football, modern tactics, but unfortunately inconsistent results. And also under Fonseca, Roma, they reached the Europa League semifinals last season, but they unfortunately were beaten by Man U 8-5 on aggregate. And they basically have played pretty decent football and pretty similar to our play as well, with some fullbacks that really like to push up. You have a defensive midfielder that likes to split the center backs, and you have some attacking midfielders that essentially stay pretty close together, and the midfield kind of almost form a midfield 5 with a striker that likes to get in behind. So there are some similarities for sure. And he's also said that he's not a type of manager that will ever sit in a low block. So that is very, very, I think, encouraging for sure, because that's not how we want to shape up nor play ever. But that's ironically, the manager that replaced him at Roma is Jose Mourinho, of course, the former Spurs boss and also Chelsea and Man U, etc., etc. But yeah, very, I think, interesting there that the guy he is replaced with, he almost got the job at Tottenham. And pretty different styles, I would say. So, I mean, it seems like Roma are getting a little bit more pragmatic. But what do you guys think of Fonseca and this rumor? Do you like the sound of him? Would you like to see him at Atlanta United? Let us know in the comments below. But on to the next rumor, Thiago Almada, an update on him. Fabrizio Romano, the big guru, the transfer guru, here we go. He has here we go'd pretty much, not officially, but Almada, he's pretty much discussing personal terms with Atl United. He's expected to join us after the Olympics once his contract is ready. Of course, the Olympics are over for the Argentina U23s. And yeah, the agreement between Atl United and Vélez Sarsfield has been reached and completed, and the deal is now at its final stages, according to Romano. So definitely, yeah, seems like he's on his way, and you know, we will definitely have a guy who, yes, will be fairly similar to some of our players that are already here, but he's a 20-year-old whose passing is very strong, likes to dribble, and is good at it and beating his man. He also likes to take long shots that also he's very good at, but yeah, also likes to play long balls, gets fouled pretty often, and yeah, you know, he's a guy that could be, you know, another wonder kid that comes into our squad. And so do we move out another wonder kid? How does he fit in? We'll kind of slightly discuss in a bit. But another transfer rumor, the plausibility of this seems a little lower, but yeah, and you know, in terms of Almada, the transfer fee seems to be about 15 million, and so that probably makes him a U22 because he also is a you know, a younger player, under 20, or a 20-year-old player rather, but. In terms of transfer rumor here, Cagliari, in terms of Serie A, Cagliari's Joao Pedro, he's a Brazilian. Apparently, he's reached, in principle, an agreement with Atl United for a 3-year deal worth about $3.5 million per season. But Atl United has offered Cagliari $10 million plus bonuses, but Cagliari, they are asking for 16. So, yeah, you know, it's been rejected, but will we come with another offer? We'll see. But Pedro and Cagliari, they were in contract extension talks. These are from various sources in and around Serie A. But Cagliari apparently would not want to sell the 29-year-old. I mean, he is a key player for them. But yeah, this player, I mean, he has scored 16 goals and assisted 3 in 37 matches in the 2021 season for the Italian side. He's got 97 goals and 34 assists in 340 matches in all competitions in his career. So that's not too shabby. And you know, for 10 to 16 million, that could be a pretty decent you know, haul for a guy that you know, is a proven goal scorer, attacking midfielder, or can play at center forward or second striker. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to a player like this. I mean, obviously, we'll see how we line up with him in the 11, but I mean, this could be fairly useful, and it might have to be maybe a you know, 2 up top, maybe with some wing backs. We'll find out if this happens, but. Yeah, he's a guy that also, he's strong aerially. He's, of course, strong at finishing with those numbers as well, as you can see. And he's another player that gets fouled often, so, you know, not too bad, a good thing for sure. But in terms of, you know, in terms of these two players, how will we make it work within the squad? It will be a question for sure. But in terms of these two players, DP slot or U22, we don't have them available right now. Essentially, we will have to figure out what we will do. Maybe Alan Franco gets bought down. Maybe another player gets moved. We will find out. But leave us your theories in the comments below. But wrapping up the news, I mean, we will get to Kanye's room at the Benz. I mean, this is hilarious. Apparently, he's renting it out for $1 million a day, and so he can finish recording Donda. I mean, ridiculous. Obviously, just kind of just a weird thing to begin with. He showed up at the Atlanta United match last time and was in his pantyhose and that same jacket that he wore for his show. It's a weird thing for sure, and we all ask if Kanye's okay, really. But guys, let's wrap up the news and get into our match preview. And our match preview is CF Montreal on Wednesday, August 4th at 7:30 at Saputo Stadium. And yeah, I mean, it's another team that, I mean, isn't doing spectacularly, but they are 7th, we are 10th, and Thierry Henry has moved on from them as their head coach, and in his stead, Wilfred Nancy is their head coach as he tries to kind of bring this kind of weirdly constructed team where they have a lot of holes, I feel like, but still are able to, I think, get above the playoff line. I think it's a team that we definitely will, have a good chance at beating. We just have to really, I think, have the legs. And with really just a few days rest and travel as well, this will be an ask for sure of the squad. But last season they finished 9th in the Eastern Conference. They were eliminated in round 1 by the Revolution 2-1, and they were also in the CONCACAF Champions League. They were eliminated in the quarterfinals by Olympia by away goals, tiebreaker, unfortunately. But getting into the last 6 matches between the two clubs, Atlanta United has won 5, drawn 1, and Montreal have not won 1 at all. And our 12 goals, their 4 goals, just kind of actually hilarious a bit. But in terms of the last match, we last played them on May. If you remember, it's our last win of the season so far. It was May 16th. We beat them 1-0. So getting into their key acquisitions, Jordi Mihailovic is a guy that will be a not only maybe inverted winger, but maybe a number 10 for them, and is a guy that has been kind of key to their proceedings. Another guy in Bjorn Johnson, kind of a nomadic striker, but he's been a goal scorer wherever he's been. And Kiki Struna, he's a starting caliber center back for them, and definitely a guy that will be a stalwart in their defense, probably, hopefully, for years to come, they hope. But some key losses. Bojan, the former Barcelona wonder kid, unfortunately left them. And Orji Akwanko, another guy, their 2019 team MVP, has left them as well. And Juka Ratala, their club captain and stalwart in defense, has left as well. But in terms of their players to watch, Romel Kyoto, unfortunately he will be probably injured for this match, but he was their club's leading scorer last season. And also, of course, the aforementioned Mihailovic, and also Victor Wanyama, defensive midfielder, former Spurs and Southampton player, of course, but a guy that's kind of can really influence things from the middle of the park. But in terms of CF Montreal and how they're going to play. I mean, they're a team that likes to pass it around short. They will take shots from distance, and they will play that offside trap and really try to, kind of squeeze the play. But, they do rotate their first 11 quite a bit as well. And, they're a team that might end up playing in their own half a little bit. So we can, if we have the energy, we can still press them and maybe try to force some errors. But in terms of, their availability, injuries report, Clement Jupp is out with a right leg injury. Balou Tabla is out with a groin injury, and aforementioned Kyoto is out with a hamstring injury. For Atlanta United, of course, Heinemann out with a torn ACL, Ibarra lower body, Mo Adams left quad, Bello, Guzan, and Robinson and Barco out on international duty. Barco is back, but we'll see if he takes part. He will have to not only travel up to Montreal with them, but I think that might not be quite the game quite yet. I think we'll see him probably next weekend. But also questionable is Jake Mulroney and also Brooks Lennon, who unfortunately suffered an injury against Orlando City. But getting into our predicted starting 11, and let's see. I think obviously Can will be between the sticks, but I think that back line will be, maybe almost forced into what's available, really. And so Ronald Hernandez will be at right back. It'll be Alan Franco, Anton Walks, and Mikey Ambrose will continue on as the left back, even though he didn't have that great of a game. But, we really are out of bodies, really, at this point. In midfield, Josetu did a great job. I think, would he, I think, continue this match? I don't know. I think it might be Amar Sejdic against his former club. We'll see. But Sosa, in lieu of having any sort of understudy, is another. He just will have to play. And Marcelino Moreno, who's been balling out. Hopefully, he still also will have the legs too. But getting into the forwards at right wing, I think it's going to be Macho Chol. I think he needs to probably be moved over to the right, keep it a little bit more simple, and on that left, then Eric Lopez. I think maybe just have them swap wings, and Eric Lopez, when he's been on the left, he looks a little bit more dangerous because he can cut in, maybe he can take shots, he can get in behind, and of course Joseph Martinez up top. Hopefully we don't see any kind of late match subs for him in this one either, because I think unless we're leading by a large number, but we shall see. But basically though, a quick little match note in that if Inter Miami, if they beat CF Montreal on Saturday, and full transparency, I'm filming this on a Saturday, but then LA United will have the lowest or the fewest number of wins in MLS this season. That is quite a damning stat. So, either way, we're in some dire bit of form at the moment. But let's get into the score prediction then, guys. It's obviously, winless in 11. It's tough to see how we get off this snide, but against this CF Montreal side that could be gotten at, especially they have shorter rest than we do. I think it's possible. I think it's just very tough on the road, and I think, unfortunately, it'll be a 1-1 draw. And, not sure who's going to get on the score sheet. Maybe it'll be Alan Franco on a set piece. We shall see. But, hopefully it's Joseph Martinez, and he continues to, kind of get in on the score sheet, but also when he scores in bunches, so it'd be really, really great to see. But that does it for the match preview and pretty much the entire show, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do the rumors of Fonseca and Pedro and Almada, do they fill you with confidence? Let us know in the comments below. But guys, that is the episode. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I've been AJ. Thank you.